All right, so the division I think is the biggest shoe-in for a division winner is the NFC South. We both have the Buccaneers at 12-5. We disagree a little bit on the rest. I have the Saints at 5-12, the Falcons at 4-13, and the Panthers at 4-13. You have the Panthers at 8-9, the Saints at 8-9, and the Falcons at 3-14. So we both think the Falcons are going to suck. Pretty self-explanatory. Quarterback situation, Marcus Mariota, a little iffy. Is Desmond Ridder going to get to play from Cincinnati at all? Who knows? Panthers added Baker Mayfield, so I think you gave him a little more optimism than I did. I have no faith in Matt Rule as a head coach. He's kind of an idiot. And then Saints, Jameis Winston's productive. Their receiving core is good, but they just don't inspire me a whole lot. I don't know if that's just a bias I have or something. I don't know. And they lost Sean Payton, I guess. So it's the first year without Sean Payton. I think it's another angle I was taking on. They might regress a little bit. But then, yeah, the Buccaneers, obviously, Tom Brady, one of the best receiving corps in football, still a really good defense. I think some questions on offensive line with Ryan Jensen going down with an injury, but overall, easily the most talented team in the division.
Well, and even with the change of guard, so to speak, at the head coach, I think that's going to have little to no impact on where that team goes. Because in theory, they have all the same guys in the room still. You know what I mean? Because Bruce Arians is still employed as like an advisor.
But they still have Leftwich, which I cannot believe Byron Leftwich didn't get a head coaching job in the offseason. He should have been the Jaguars head coach, in my opinion. But
I think he'll get one next year. I think after this year, he's gone for sure.
So still got the same play caller, still got the same defensive coordinator, or I guess defensive scheme. It's just Todd Bowles, not head coach. But yeah, I would be shocked if the Buccaneers didn't win the division. But do you really think the Baker's going to elevate the Panthers that much?
The only reason I think that, and maybe 8's a little aggressive in the win column, he's just another one of those chip on his shoulder, I hold grudges, and I think he's going to feel as though he has something to prove, and I think that will serve them well. Now, looking at this and having the Saints at 8-9, if nothing was different other than the head coach, I'd probably have the Saints at 10-7. Maybe even 11-6. I still am not used to like these 17 game record numbers. It's still kind of like boggles my mind a little bit, and I have cobwebs about it. But I think Jameis Winston is actually a little bit underrated, despite his tendency to throw ridiculous-looking interceptions. So I could see the Saints and Panthers maybe flip-flopping spots. And then, yeah, the Falcons, again, wouldn't be surprised, even though I know I had a couple other teams with 2 wins, a couple of them in the NFC. We have one more to talk about. I still wouldn't be surprised if they ended up having potentially the second worst record in the NFL.
Yeah, they're going to be for a tough season. But, yeah, I think, again, the Saints, they could easily definitely win more games. I'm just a little more on the pessimistic side. Jameis Winston throws up great numbers, but I do think he loses a couple of games that are unnecessary with a couple of costly errors. And then, yeah, I just think the Panthers are not a very talented team. I enjoy watching Baker Mayfield play, but he can only do so much himself. If McCaffrey can stay healthy, maybe that'll add a couple wins, but I really think they're going to have a tough one this year because – yeah, Matt Rule borders on inept for coaching, in my opinion. Should have stayed in college. I think it's one of those mistakes. And
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back in college come the next 2 or 3 years, to be honest.
Well, you have a team that's actively pursuing Sean Payton while their coach is still employed. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, Buccaneers should be a shoo-in. So, put that one in Sharpie, barring a Tom Brady injury. But, yeah, one more here, and then we can get to football. So thanks for listening.